Welcome to UPLEVEL, Real Health, Real Talk with Dr. Jenna Blasi. I'm Dr. Jenna. I spent years crafting ways to help women thrive, and I want to help you do the same. On this podcast, we dive deep into health at every level, focusing on the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is where real conversations meet transformational wellness. We'll be talking about all the things that truly matter, from nutrition and fitness to lifestyle, mindset, and personal development. Plus, the real deal on managing stress and navigating menopause. So if you're ready to elevate your health journey with authentic, transformative insights, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to UPLEVEL. I'm Dr. Jenna. And we're diving back into the paradigm. We are about 3 weeks into this paradigm conversation. And I love hearing from you all and about the aha moments that you're having. One person even said this has just been like life-changing to look at it this way. Actually, more than one person, but catching your self-talk, recognizing the patterns, seeing the thermostat kick in real time. I love hearing your stories and hearing about how this is impacting you. And now we're at that point where I know you want to know, what do we do about it? We're recognizing it, we're seeing it, what do we do about it? And I love that, because awareness without action, not impactful, right? Just interesting. That's interesting. We're not here to be interesting, right? We're here to get results. So today I want to get practical, dive in a little deeper. How do you actually begin to shift the paradigm? Not think about it, not understand it intellectually, but actually change it. Because here's what I want you to know going in. This is not complicated. Sometimes I'd even say like it's too simple. People are like, how can that possibly work? But it does require consistency. Just because it's not complicated or that it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. It requires consistency. It requires commitment. It requires being all in. And you absolutely can do this. All right. But we can't think our way out of the paradigm. We can't just keep reading and going to class, doing the work intellectually, right? Reading more books, listening to more podcasts, making quote unquote better plans. None of that is going to touch the paradigm. When I work with people in my mindset programs, I actually just did a class where we went deep into all the higher mental faculties of how you actually use the higher mental faculties of your conscious mind, your will, your reason, your imagination, your intuition, your perception, and your memory to change the paradigm. But we're going to go higher level with this today because I want this to be practical for you without needing to go into all of these deeper aspects. All right. Because simple can be and often is all that's needed. You just have to stay consistent and do it. All right. So remember, the subconscious is not just going to respond to you being logical and continuing to study. Most people are trying to change behavior not quite in the right way, right? They're using willpower and they're white knuckling it, and restriction, which tends to swing the other way with like restriction, and then the pendulum swings the other way and we don't do anything. Or it's like discipline through gritting teeth. And that can work for a while, but the thermostat will kick in, the old patterns will come back. So to change the paradigm, you have to work at changing the subconscious mind at the level of subconscious. And as we talked about last time, that's through repetition, emotion, and through your imagination, which is one of those higher mental faculties, through the images that you create in your brain. All right. So we're not going to logic our way to a new paradigm. We do want to use our reason in the right way, because most of us are using those 6 higher mental faculties against ourselves, but we have to impress our way into the new paradigm. And I don't mean impress like, hey, how cool am I? Right. But a new impression. Picture your subconscious like a mold. All right. So I'm going to break this into like 3 ways to actually shift the paradigm to begin to impress a new program on the subconscious. So number 1, repetition of a new idea daily without exception. If you're willing to do it more than once a day, even better. Think of, when you were a baby and somebody or you have a new puppy and you call their name, they don't know their name right away, but you repeat it, and eventually they do. So the subconscious, if you remember, learns through repetition. This means that choosing a new belief, a new statement about yourself, and repeating it consistently until it becomes the dominant impression, right? We're crowding out the old with something new. Just like when you're changing your diet, maybe get rid of or don't keep as much crap, unhealthy food in your house. You might have some, but you have more healthy choices ready to go for you. So this is something that you have to do consistently, not once, not when you feel like it. Your paradigm's going to fight you. You're not going to feel like it, but daily. All right. And there's different ways to do this. Now, depending on if we're working on a new identity, a new self-image, or a goal. I love goal cards, and you want to make them in the present tense. Looking around for my goal card here. So the goal card would read, for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then figure out, like, who are you? What do you want? What does that life look like? And so a present tense statement of what you have, what you've achieved, read morning and night without fail. Carry it around with you, because if you read it with feeling, if you create this goal of the life you want, the healthy body, the relationships, the income, whatever it is, and you do it with feeling, then I have my goal card in, I bought little like baseball sleeves. And so I have my goal card in, for those of you who are watching the YouTube version. So like, here's my goal. And it's like, I'm so happy and grateful now that, and I actually wrote out my self-image on the back. So, I have the goals that I want to achieve. And then I have the who I am. Who is that person who's living that life, who's achieved those things? And I've done it so many times, and I continue to do it with feeling that even just picking up this card, it's like that imprinting with, where you ring the bell and you associate it with dinner or whatever it is. So carry that goal card around, carry it in your pocket, have it in your bag. That will make it even more impactful. And then you read it, you intentionally incorporate it into your day. But, and let me say that, we don't have to start with belief. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but I want to say this is why we start with present tense. Remember that the subconscious doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. So we have to read it in the present, because then we're impressing that this is the current reality. And it doesn't know the difference between fact and fiction, reality versus not real. So present tense, feel it, repeat it. And the repetition, to be clear, is not about convincing your conscious mind. It's about impressing the subconscious until the new idea becomes the more dominant than the old one. Initially, maybe if you've not eaten so healthy and you're eating healthier food, you don't love it yet, maybe, but you're getting used to it. You're replacing more, you're repeating until you get to a place, like our taste buds do change when we're looking at healthy food. The things that I ate 20 years ago, I couldn't or wouldn't eat now. They wouldn't even appeal to me, but it took time for that to happen. So we want the new idea to become the dominant one, because that's what the universe responds to. That's what our results respond to, is the dominant image. Which brings us to number 2, visualization, building the new image. All right, the subconscious mind responds to images. So you have to build a new image deliberately. Every time I've ever been looking for a home, I'm writing out, I'm visualizing what that house looks like. I'm writing all of the features, and I have landed, quote unquote, or, manifested, if you want to say. But I have attracted and found homes that were like all the things on my list, because I would write it, I would repeat it, I would see it. This is not daydreaming. This is a specific, intentional practice. Every morning, even 5 minutes, close your eyes and build the image of you with that goal achieved, as that healthy woman, as that person that you want to be, in the relationship that you want, in the body and the health that you want, not the journey. All right, not the journey, the result. See yourself there. Feel what it feels like in that body, in that house, in that relationship, in that job, with that career, with that income, again, whatever it is, living that life. And even if we're just doing health, you've got to see yourself in that body, having energy, being healthy, thinking clearly, all those things. The subconscious cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you visualize with feeling, you are literally impressing a new program. This is why athletes use it. This is why it works. Okay, number 3, And I've told this story before, but the story of, and I apologize that I cannot remember her name right now, but the woman that won one of the races, so awful, I'm going to just botch this whole thing. But anyway, it was during the Paris Olympics, and the reporter said, at what point did you know that you'd won the race? And she said, from the moment I landed in Paris, I kept seeing myself winning the race. I saw myself doing it. So by the time I got up to the podium or whatever they call that starter block, she said I'd already won. And when she actually ran it, she was so far ahead of everybody else. Athletes will tell you this. Successful people will tell you this. It works. Number 3, we started to do this a little bit last week, catching and now redirecting the old program. All right, so remember the self-talk exercise from last week. This is where we're going to use it, but we're going to now redirect it. When you catch the old sentence, I always fail at this. I have no discipline. This is just how I am. This is how everybody in my family is, etc., etc. You don't fight it. But if you can recognize it as not truth, if you can recognize it as the old paradigm, that's the first step. Then we're going to redirect it. Not fight it, force negates. We're going to redirect. So you do want to acknowledge it. That's the old program. I met with a woman today, and we were talking about what she wants to achieve. And I said, how much do you want this on a scale of 1 to 10? And she said, let's say 9. Got to leave a little wiggle room. And I said, wiggle room for what? And she said, for failure. And I was like, we're going to leave wiggle room for failure? If you leave wiggle room for failure, what are we setting ourselves up for? Right? Why would we want to leave wiggle room for failure? If you want something, it is just a matter of time before you can achieve it if you're committed to it. And it's easiest for us to understand, I think, in the context of someone we love. Our kids, our pets, they need something. We're going to move mountains to get it there. And I'm not talking about like, something that they want, but like, let's say there's like a surgery or a doctor or somebody that we love, it would save them. It would change their lives. It's necessary, or however you want to word it. We're going to move mountains. We're going to do whatever it takes. So I asked her if that leaving wiggle room for failure was in harmony with who she wants to be and the future she's creating. And she said, oh my gosh, no, it's not. Let's get that out of there. That is not in harmony. And then she changed it. I loved it. Then she changed it to who I am. I said, I love that because yes, she's not there yet, but it is who she is. She is strong, active, and healthy. That hasn't been her quote unquote reality for the last 5 years, but that is at her core who she was and who she is. And now, working her way there. So acknowledge it. Those fears, those ideas that you fail, but then redirect it. Okay, that's the old program. It's not in harmony with your desires. It's not in harmony with your full potential. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. So now you replace it immediately, out loud if you can, with the new one, the new thought, the new image. Okay, I used to think that. I've given up in the past, but now I know I'm someone who keeps her commitments to herself. I am someone who You're literally interrupting the old groove and starting to carve a new one. And it's going to feel a little awkward at first. Do it anyway. The main thing that makes all of this work or not is consistency. Consistency beats intensity every time, but I will say you can't just be checking a box, right? You do have to be emotionally involved in this exercise. And small daily practice is really, it's really the game, so to speak. Okay. So the biggest mistake people make with this work is like going big and then stopping, talking themselves out of it, deciding it's not possible, deciding to settle for less. One incredible visualization session does not change the paradigm. Oh, I had this great visualization. It was amazing. And then you never do it again. One powerful journaling experience does not change your paradigm. What changes the paradigm is the small, consistent, daily practice, repeated over and over again, without exception, even when you don't feel like it. Stay with it. That's why I said you can do it for a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes in the evening, but ideally maybe setting alarms, and we set 3 alerts on your phone where you stop and you pause during the day and you repeat your goal, your affirmations, your self-image. Think of a water and rock, right? Water doesn't move rock through force. It moves rock and reshapes rock through consistent, persistent contact over time. One wave doesn't do it. 1,000 waves, 10,000 waves, they keep coming, and eventually the rock is shaped entirely differently. Your paradigm is the rock. Your daily practice is that water. Not fighting it, you're not fighting the rock. It doesn't have to be dramatic. You just have to keep smoothing it over. Decide this is what you want. Decide this is who you want to be, the life you want, how you want to feel. Discipline yourself, meaning giving yourself a command and following it. Deciding you're going to do this, set up the practice, and then repeat it, right? Rinse and repeat. It's not exciting, although it can be if you really get into the emotions of it, but it's not a hack. It's the truth. And also don't wait until you believe it to start. The belief actually comes from the repetition, not before it. When we first start working out at the gym, we may not see things right away. And so we sort of believe it, but we can't fully picture it. And then we're doing it. And then we start believing it. And then we start seeing it. So remember, do the thing and you'll get the energy to do the thing. If you can believe it, great. If you can't, believe that the process works and don't wait until your belief is in, just start the process. We get the confidence when we do the thing. We get the energy when we do the thing. Okay. So to close and give you some action steps. Again, I'm trying to keep this high level and really practical. Here's where we are after 3 weeks together. You understand what a paradigm is and where it came from. You understand how the subconscious works and what it responds to. And now you have 3 practices that actually begin to shift it. So next week, we're going to bring this home specifically to your results. And this can be your health results but what does the paradigm shift actually look like in the body, for example? What changes first? What should you expect? And how do you stay committed when the old paradigm pushes back? Because it will at every new level. No matter how long you've been doing this work, there's layers. We're onions, right? Peel the onion. There's new layers of paradigm at different levels of up-leveling, if you will. But this week, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one of these 3 action steps. Again, not looking to overwhelm you. Pick one. All right, so number 1, write your goal card. 1 present tense statement. I'm so happy and grateful now that of what you want to achieve, who you are as the healthy, vibrant, thriving in all aspects of your life person. Read it morning and night this week, every single day. Add feeling. Really imagine it's already happened and you're telling someone about it. You're reading it in the present tense. It's already the truth, and feel what that feels like. Number 2, start a 5-minute morning visualization. Just 5 minutes. See yourself in the body and the life that you want. The body you want, the health you want, the home you want, the relationships you want, the career you want, the income you want. All of it, whatever it is. The world is your oyster. What do you want it to look like? Not the doubt, not the limited belief, not what people tell you you can have. Just what would you love? What do you really want? And just 5 minutes in the morning spending visualizing this and feeling it. Number 3, practice the redirect. Catch one old self-talk sentence this week and replace it out loud with a new one. You hear it, you're like, that's not truth. That's not in harmony with who I want to be or who I am, and redirect it. Replace it, right? Replace it. We're not fighting it. We're not trying to beat it up. We're just replacing it. So pick just one of those, just one, and do it consistently all week. That's it. That's your assignment. 1 action step done every day, consistently throughout the week. This is how the paradigm shifts. Not in a moment, in the daily practice. Stacked up over time. Remember, success is just a series of small wins or small successes stacked up over time. The book Atomic Habits is really great when in talking about like habit stacking. Different topic, but similar. It kind of goes together. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. As usual, super grateful and can't wait to see you next time. And leave us your messages. Send more emails. Send us the messages of the impact this is having, the changes you're already starting to see, and what this experience has been like for you. See you next time. Thank you for joining me on this episode of UPLEVEL, Real Health, Real Talk. I hope today's conversation inspired you to take the next step in your health journey, one that nourishes not just your body, but your mind and spirit as well. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you found value in today's episode, please leave a review. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep thriving. And remember, true wellness is a journey, and you are on the right path.